Hello there, this is Ron Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Today, I'm going to talk about automation and what to do about it. Now, this is a little different from the relationship stuff. And like I said in a few videos ago, I'm trying to evolve away from the relationship thing and really just start getting into life. Because there's only so much I'm going to say about relationships, and there's only so much we can talk about women. But look, we still got to live life. We still got to feed ourselves and everything. And I wanted to talk about automation because, let's face it, that's the biggest threat to people having jobs in the future. The biggest single threat, in my opinion. The reason why I say so is, well, let me back up a bit. The thing that inspired this video was the other day when I was doing taxes. Now, usually what I do every year, I download some stuff from the IRS, the booklets, everything, the forms. I fill out the forms, and then what I do is I find one of these sites, preferably a free one, and upload the same information onto the site, send it to the IRS, and we're good to go. Now, the other day, I did something a little different. What I did was, I didn't download any documents or anything. I just went straight on the site and answered a few questions and, got a tax return, and I'll get my little bit back. Yeah, brother need to have some more kids or something. I need some more tax write-offs or something. Or I need to go on Lauren Lake's paternity court, find those other kids that I got out there. Now, I'm just playing with y'all because I know some woman to hear that and be like trying to run with it. Say, Ron got a bunch of kids out there. Nah, just two and a maybe. Just two and a maybe. Anyway, I was really thinking about that, though. I was thinking, damn, that online stuff is convenient, but how many tax preparers are now out of a job? Because I just did a tax return, and I'm the only human being other than who might be at the IRS who might see it. And for all we know, somebody might not actually be looking at it. It might just go through a computer. So I'm like, man, this is some deep ass stuff right here, right? And I was thinking about, I talk a lot about my dear grandmother, and I remember she used to own this house that, I used to live in Southeast DC. In the basement, it was actually zoned for commercial use, so she used to rent it out to a tax preparer. And, they made pretty good money. And, the son of the tax preparer used to use the place for parties and stuff. But, yeah, we took care of that. Anyway, I was thinking about it, right? I was like, man, you know what? Every time something gets automated, somebody loses a job. Now, it's good for the owners, whoever owns that automation system. Oh, yeah, it's good for them. It might be good for the stockholders. It's bad for that maybe person who needed that job, like that call center job or customer service job. It's bad for them. Now, yeah, they still have those jobs, but they don't need them the same way. So I'm just like, man, there's some stuff right here. And I was looking at some other things as well. I mean, they got that thing called Amazon Go where they're going to have a clerkless store. Like you can just walk in, have your smartphone, pick what you want, walk out. You can just get charged. I'm like, damn, y'all. It was bad enough you had the self-checkouts because I remember when I saw them years ago, I said, that's going to cost some people some jobs. And it already has. You go in most stores that use those things, and like most of the checkout aisles are empty. Only place I still see full checkout aisles are the places that don't use those self-checkout machines, and those are usually family-owned grocery stores. Like people just holding out, which bless them, they still trying to provide jobs. But think about that, though. Think about that. If you can do something automated like that, let people just go in, get their own stuff. You know, these greedy owners out there, they were like, well, shoot, why should I have to pay that $15 an hour minimum wage? Because, see, that's another thing, too. Everybody was fighting for that and think, yeah, we're going to get that. It was like, no. Say you have a job, right? Some fast food place. They got maybe 20 workers or something. I don't know. I've never worked fast food. I've done a lot of things. I've never worked fast food, so I don't know. But let's just say, for argument's sake, 20 or something people, right? Think about something. All right, they go up to 15 an hour. The bosses, they're going to figure out every way they can cut people. They're going to limit that. If they got to pay that 15, you know, they're going to figure out how they can just pay 5 people to do the work of 20. And plus, I saw something. It was one of those pictures that they were passing around on social media where somebody can just order their own food and the food will be right there for them. So they'll figure out a way every time something gets automated. And I mean it's deep. Like speaking of Amazon, I was watching a video where they had robots in their warehouses doing some work, and I'm just like, man, a brother can't even get that job now. And then they got driverless trucks. I mean, there's a lot of men who've reached middle class status just from driving a rig. There's a lot of men, and all of a sudden you're saying, wait, all you need to do is have some driverless truck, and trust me, they'll figure out a way for that truck to be emptied by robots. I mean, this automation thing is no joke. I mean, they even got in China, they got like a company that can build houses with used 3D printers. I was like, oh shit, this ain't no joke. See, we up here arguing about really some dumb stuff. We need to be looking towards the future, you know. And I want to thank my brother BGS. He's been talking about this for a while. And I mean, we have to look at this. We have to think about, well, what are we going to do? Now, I'm not that type to really see something coming and just say, oh, whoa, it's going to end the civilization. But what's going to have to happen is that everybody's going to have to switch up. They're going to have to change their mentality. One thing I see, creative people, artist types, people who can design stuff, they can knit, I mean, stuff like that, that's going to start becoming more prominent. Like artist types, hey, all of this is a boom, because just think about it, right? Somebody just on YouTube, somebody can make not just a living wage, but actually become quite prosperous just right from their living room, talking in their pajamas, kind of like I'm doing now. Think about it. That's going to be the future for many people. But see, everybody can't get on YouTube like that. Everybody's not an artist. One thing I would suggest for all the men and women listening, you better figure out your skill, and you better figure out a skill that you can offer to somebody, because whatever you're doing, you may need to supplement your income, because there's a lot of people out there working on jobs that will probably be automated at some point. Even with President Trump talking about bringing factories back to this country, rest assured those factories will be filled with robots to the greatest extent possible. Rest assured. So one of the things is focus on the businesses, right? Focus on the businesses or professions, crafts, whatever, that can't easily be automated. You know, like I read somewhere, they say you can be a dental hygienist, be a dental hygienist and stuff. I mean, well, so far they can't automate it. Somebody will probably figure out something. I mean, if they perfect sex dolls, hell, shoot, they can perfect that. And speaking of sex dolls, imagine if the sex industry becomes automated. And I'm laughing about it now, but you got a lot of guys out there. There's already a subculture of men out there who they will actually go to conferences with their sex dolls. I mean, I've seen the pictures. And well, I'm not going to comment on that, but that's just saying, hey, nothing might be safe. But what people can start doing now is start thinking about what kind of hustle you got. What can you do that can't be automated? You know, and that's another thing too. The future of work anyway is becoming more freelance. There's a lot of people who do stuff and they really just independent contractors, because really it's easier for many businesses just to give you a 1099 instead of like having to take out taxes and all of that. They'll just say, hey, you deal with that. So a lot of people, you know, are going to be getting into that more freelance work, and you're going to need to find what you can do. Find what you can do extra. Hey, you know, I mean, I've known some women, they will hustle food. You know, they make plates. They'll make plates. I mean, and, you know, people can fix cars, whatever. Just figure it out, because that automation thing is here. It's here, and it's not going to hit all of a sudden. It's going to be just nice and slow. And a lot of people might not think about it, but then if you think, well, wait a minute, you got a lot of millennials trying to find jobs. See, it's hard for them to find those entry level jobs now, and especially in those states that's talking about 15 an hour for minimum wage. Please, like I said earlier, it'd be easy to automate some of that stuff to save some money. So anyway, it's coming, y'all. It's coming, and it's just some stuff that we're going to have to deal with. We're going to have to adapt. You know, everybody is going to have to think about, well, what can I do that can't be touched by automation? You know, seriously. And I don't care if you have that good job now, because that's one thing I said in my book, Nice Guys and Players, especially for the men. Every man needs to have a side hustle. And nowadays it's becoming more important. Even if you got money, get a side hustle. Even if you making 6-7 figures, get a side hustle. You know, get something, because you never know. You just never know, because there's been many a corporate brother I've known over the years who lost their job. You know, their nice cushy job, because they thought they wanted, and all of a sudden they changed up. Because I mean, it's even deep to the point. Even a lot of legal stuff is becoming automated. You know, you hear some of these apps and stuff, they'll solve your problem for you, so you don't have to pay that attorney like $200 an hour. So, boom. Yeah, oh man. I'm gonna tell you what, the future is both scary but it's exciting, because one thing that affluent people know, they're not worried about anything. They just start switching up. They start looking for the next thing. In fact, they're already thinking 10 years ahead. You know, while we stuck going back and forth over some trivial issues, they already down the road. They already planning. They already see the stuff coming. So they already making adjustments. So what I would say, hey, automation is coming. Make those adjustments. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Peace.